Desperate people.
Those are the same people that I'm going to spend $30 on the lottery every day for like fucking 50 years and don't know how much.
That's another scam.
Yeah,
that's another scam. Not only is that a scam, here's the scam about the lottery. Not only does, like, say if everyone pumps money into the lottery, say you buy $100 worth of tickets and Jamie buys $100 worth of tickets and I buy $100, so there's $300 in the lottery. There's not even $300 available
to pay
if you win.
Right.
So, and then if you win, you don't get all the money. You get the money over a long period of time.
But they always give you options. But
right. But if you take the second option, it's a significantly, like, here's a good example of it. Speaking of the Epstein files.
What do you mean, speaking of
company,
Epstein files?
Zorro Trust.
I didn't like that transition. You looked me right in my eyes and said, speaking of the Epstein
Well, Epstein,
files.
we were talking about it before the podcast.
No, you
Epstein came to see you.
No, Epstein did not fucking come to see me.
They loved your show.
Yo.
He was a #1 fan.
First of all, I've never...
You don't know. Look, they came to West Palm Improv because you're a famous comedian and you were playing in the town where he lived.
So what are you saying?
Nothing. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is Epstein won the lottery. His company Zorro Trust won an $80 million lottery, and then they took the payoff, and the payoff was only $30 million.
A ticket, or you mean within corporation? What do you mean when you say
his company bought a ticket for the lottery?
Oh, really?
Yes, Zorro Trust, which is his company. They won the lottery, which is very suspicious. Not only that, he won the lottery right after he was arrested and went to jail for fucking kids or having sex or whatever he was arrested for, sexual hand jobs, whatever it was. So
there's nothing wrong with a sexual hand job.
No, but when they're underage girls, probably not good.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
So then when he went and got the lottery money, the company took the payoff. The payoff out of an $80 million payment, the $80 million jackpot, was only $30 million. So if you want the money, you take 30. So not only did they take 50 out of the 80, but then you think about how many people spent money buying lottery tickets. It's way more than 80 million.
Right.
So they make money off of that, and then they make money off of the fact that you want the payoff instead of the over.
So they never could. It doesn't matter what the jackpot becomes. They never can lose.
They can't lose
because
they're stealing money from people that are desperate.
Right.
It's legalized gambling where the house always wins.
Right.
Like, let's find that out. Like, let's find an average jackpot of megabucks and find out how much money actually goes into it, how much money people spend versus how much money the payout is.
So when all lottos are state regulated, right? Right?
I don't know who regulates them.
So they get $100 million from people trying to win $1 billion. It's because the state regulated. Do they have to pay taxes to the government for the money they?
The lotto? No, it's the state. Well, or it's the government owns it. So it's a whatever the. Not only that, you pay taxes on it. So say if
the
you
winner
get that,
pays taxes.
Yes,
yeah, of course.
So say if you take that $30 million payout, you don't even get $30 million. Then you have to pay taxes on that $30 million. So they get money from that too. So they can't fucking lose.
But for a person that's never barely seen $1,000 anywhere, anything with $1 million, they're going to be excited about and take it before.
Exactly. And over time, most people are not going to win. So most people are dumping money into it.
There was a story of a young lady. I don't know exactly what it was. I think she won some type of lottery where they gave her two options. She would get, I think it was like a payout of like $2 or $3 million right up front, or they give her, I think it was like $20,000 every month for as long as she lived.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
And she did this. Well, people think that it's kind of crazy, but if you consider the fact that she was probably 21, her life expectancy she was white, so she probably lived to 132. You know what I'm saying? She looked like, that was a smart, a lot of people would not understand that. That was a smart thing. But I
don't think it's for the rest of your life. I think it's until it reaches that number. I don't think they're going to give you money for the rest of your life.
Well, maybe I was reading the headline.
Maybe it's a different kind of lottery that I'm not aware of.
Maybe I think it was something as long as she lives.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Typical Mega Millions jackpot run. Total ticket revenue is usually several times the advertised jackpot. But there's no single fixed average because sales vary enormously with the jackpot size. Still, you can get a good ballpark. So around 50% of ticket revenue goes into the overall prize pool. So the government makes 50% right off the bat.
Right.
So if it's $100 million payout, they already made $100 million. So that's $200 million is what they made. They throw in $100 million for everybody. Of that prize pool, roughly 2/3 to 3/4 is allocated to the jackpot, with the rest funding lower tier prizes. So that means even if there's $200 million, out of the $100 million, only 2/3 of it goes into the big jackpot. And that means the jackpot is typically in the order of 1/3 of total ticket sales that run. And then out of that 1/3, so say if it's 100 million, or with the Epstein case, it was 80 million. He took the payout, which was 30 million. So they make 50 on top of that. And then on top of that, you pay taxes on that 30. It's a crazy scam.
What do they do with the money?
Whatever the fuck they want.
I think they
Who can
probably.
tell
I think
you?
that in certain neighborhoods, I think they probably pump a certain amount of winning tickets into a neighborhood just to get you addicted to keep going in there and spend your money.
Well, it's supposed to be random. You know, I don't know how much oversight. Look, if a guy like Jeffrey Epstein can win, I don't know how much oversight is. I know back in Boston when I lived there, Whitey Bulger won. See if this is true. I think he won the lotto twice, which is crazy.
Whitey Bulger, who was that? That sounds like
Whitey
an old
Bulger
street
was
fighter.
a South Boston mob boss in the 1980s when I lived there, the 1980s and 90s.
A mob boss.
Yeah, he was a dangerous guy. He was the guy that movie that Leonardo DiCaprio starred in with Jack Nicholson. What was that movie, Jamie? Remember that movie that was based on Whitey Bulger? The Departed?
Yeah, Departed.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was based on Whitey Bulger.
he was a gangster.
Oh, yeah. Terrifying gangster. Yeah.
What was his demise?
He was actually a fucking FBI informant. Not only was he a gangster, he was working with the FBI, and they were letting him get away with shit because he was throwing other people under the bus. Who knows what fucking happens with all this Epstein file shit? It just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier and deeper. And so Rogan and Massey just released the names of these guys that had been redacted from the list, and one of them is what is his last name?
Les
Wexner, right? Who's the CEO of Victoria's Secrets. Is he the CEO or the owner?
Former CEO, but
Both.
Former owner, CEO of Victoria's Secrets. He's being named as a co-conspirator now. Yes. Yeah, so he's being named along with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Because he runs this modeling, Victoria's Secrets, hot girls, the whole deal. Somehow or another, he's involved in this, and they had redacted his name up until now, right?
Pretty sure. Yeah. Well, two things. I don't think anybody. His existence as a co-conspirator isn't new information.
But it's confirmed now, right?
It was people I think are up in arms is that it wasn't supposed to be blocked out from the files.
Exactly.
He's not a victim.
Right. He's not a victim, so why was his name redacted?
Right.
And so they got it unredacted, and now he's being named.
But I think he's the funder of most of it, is what it seems.
What?
Right.
Well, he
So
was in
people
charge of
knew
this- all
that
this.
there was something going on, but he had gifted Jeffrey Epstein this insane house in Manhattan. So this is like a $60 million house in Manhattan. You know the house where you go into it and you see Bill Clinton in a dress?
Yeah.
You know that picture that we
Yeah,
have out in the
yeah,
lobby?
yeah.
That's from the foyer
Oh,
of his
shit.
house
Right.
that Jeffrey Epstein was gifted by Les Wexner. By the way, Whitney Webb posted on her Twitter about Les Wexner being a sex trafficker, a child sex trafficker in 2020. See if you can find that. Like that crazy chick is right about everything.
The one the lady
She's-
who was kidnapped, or she was claimed she was kidnapped. It was in his house in New Albany, where Columbus. Like she claimed she was being held there for, I don't know, 2 weeks or something, like doing art. She called her dad to try to get out of there or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and that's like his involvement isn't like brand new information.
This was in Columbus, Ohio?
Well, New Albany is where that's where his house is. It's the biggest house in Ohio, I think. It's a suburb of Columbus. It'd be like Westlake to
right,
Austin.
right, right.
People think he's still there. That's where Epstein's living, but that's not accurate.
Well, the people that think he's alive, I think they think he's in Israel, don't they?
Well, there's some definitely. I think they're AI photos. They might not be.
Oh, I saw that.
But
yeah.
that people think he's been seen or spotted around town.
Wouldn't you think he'd get some surgery?
You would think that he would have to.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably one of the most recognizable faces in
Yeah.
the world at this point.
Yeah.
Like, after so much airtime.
You'd have to get some
Yeah.
surgery if you wanted to still. I mean, how would you keep that? This is the tweet. Your reminder that Leslie Wexner financed the mass rape and trafficking of thousands of American children for over a decade, and right now he is sitting in a 26K square foot mansion in New Albany, Ohio, thinking that he is above the law. She tweeted this in April 28 of 2020. How crazy is that?
Holy shit.
She's like the most prolific of all the conspiracy theorists, the most well-read, the one with the most recall, the one that's the most quoted. I don't know how she's so good at it. We're trying to get her on. I don't know how she's so good and what her background is, how she finds all this information, but she's always way ahead of all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, 2020.
That's crazy.
That's fucking way ahead of everybody.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. But these files, just what's come out so far, and the fact that they redacted men, these like powerful billionaire guys, their names were redacted. Like there's one of them where he's talking about pandemic planning.
What?
Where Jeffrey Epstein is talking about pandemic planning to someone named Bill, whose name is redacted. It's like, why are you redacting the guy's name that you're talking about planning for a pandemic, like what to do in response to a pandemic? Well, why is his name retracted
So
or redacted, rather?
When are they supposed to testify? When are the Clintons supposed to testify? Would you say they're gonna 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's the last 2 days.
Did you say the aliens are coming in the next 2 weeks?
I think
They're gonna land.
I think that's
Something's gonna
ramp
happen.
up just before that testifying.
Yeah,
goes down.
it'll be we bomb Iran, aliens
Right,
show
right.
up, maybe at the same time. Yeah. Fuck, man.
Outside of this, because this, I mean, obviously this conspiracy, it's not a theory anymore, right? Because they're connecting the networks, they're like
Yeah.
exposing a lot of this. Like when you look at your total conspiracy catalog of things that you like to dive into, outside of aliens, because everybody knows that. What are your other ones that you like?
Well, aliens is the most fun one.
Yeah.
This is the one that I hate the most.
Yeah.
Because this one scares the shit out of me. Because the fear of, we talked about this yesterday with Roger Avery, the fear of these like literally demonic human beings that are running the world and don't give a fuck about human lives and enjoy watching people being tortured, enjoy watching people killed, participating in ritual sacrifice of people, and they do it in order to show that you're a part of a team and we know that has always historically been a real thing, and it's been something that you look at in history and you go, God, it's so sick, it's so twisted, it's so disgusting, and everybody wants to think, thank God that's not happening now. But then when you realize like that might have been happening now. Here's one of the craziest ones. The day he was indicted in 2018, the very next day he ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
What?
Yes. He ordered 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid to be delivered to the island. And so there's a lot of people online saying, oh, that was probably for his desalination plant. It's probably like a regular thing they need to order. So then someone else did a deep dive and said, no, this is the first time this was ever
I
ordered.
checked that again. I saw there was 2 other ones.
Oh, there was 2 other orders?
2017 and 2015.
Oh, so that
It
guy
could
was
have been
wrong.
the first one from that company potentially.
Ah, that makes sense. So maybe it was for this desalination equipment,
Maybe.
but also that's a lot of sulfuric acid. If I needed 5 gallons for my desalination equipment, but
Right.
239 gallons or whatever it is to burn kids. Yeah. To fucking get rid of bodies.
Well, it's kind of hard to think of any other use for acid, just in
Right.
general. Right?
Immediately,
So
you think-
immediately.
Yeah. The other orders, were they that large?
Let me check.
Because here's the other thing. I mean, how long has it been killing people? How long have they been boiling bodies to get rid of them? I mean, if you do have, for lack of better words, let's call it a service, where you allow rich people from foreign governments or whatever, you set it up. I can give you whatever you want.
Right.
Like, what I want to do is I want to kill a hooker. Like, I want to kill her, I want to torture her, and I want to, get rid of the body. Like, I want to do that. Like, can you do that? There was one where this one guy is saying to him, "Thank you for the torture video." It's literally a part of an email. The actual quote, "Thank you for the torture," like, enjoyed the torture video.
It's so gross. Like,
And they think they've identified that guy. And what do they think? He's a sultan?
I was trying to find that right now. I think because Massey said he got the. He looked that one up, I believe. Because it's weird. They're letting them into the files one by one for like an hour at a time.
what?
Yeah, bro.
Like
There's
the Congress people can go look at specific. There's
Right.
millions of files. You got to tell them which file you want specifically to look at.
it's crazy. The whole thing is crazy because, like, why have you protected people? So we know Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem sent the torture video to Epstein. This is in 2009. So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video.
Jeez.
I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this
No.
administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real. This is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victim. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come all this shit is not released? Like,
You would
this,
think that all of it would just,
yeah.
like, get rid of all of it. Just expel it all.
It's crazy. So this is the conspiracy that drives me the most crazy
I saw
because I don't like it.
Julian Dory talk about this yesterday on his podcast. I just saw a clip going around. American billionaire Tom Pritzker had an email to him that says,
You mean Julian Dorsey?
Dorsey? Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm in a remote valley of Afghanistan. It's my birthday wish with boys with toys. Spent time with Petraeus yesterday, and he loaned me a chopper, actually two, with one as a backup. Can't call till tomorrow. Yeah, but boys with toys could mean like military guys with weapons.
That's what
Yeah.
I assumed. That's not what the video. They thought they were talking about little boys because they were in Afghanistan. But the
boys
part of the
with
birthday
toy-
wish is an interesting part
It's my birthday wish to
in a remote valley,
in a remote valley in
and he's
Afghanistan.
telling Epstein about it.
But it also loaned me a chopper.
Well, actually, this is to Epstein.
Right. But the thing is, like, the loan me a chopper, my birthday wish, his birthday wish might have been to, like, gun down villagers.
I know that's what I
You know
thought
what I
they
mean?
were talking about. Not go play with little kids.
Yeah.
I thought he just want to go kill people and they
He,
let him
mu-
do it.
I mean, I bet that. Look, he loaned me a chopper. Doesn't sound like I came there to fuck kids. It's like my birthday wish sounds like I'm here to fuck people up.
Right.
Like,
Or I'm just out here to tour Afghanistan, which, I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to tour Afghanistan, but like,
Well-
it seems like,
the only reason why I would be interested in going to Afghanistan is the stuff that Jason Everman told me about. Like when he showed me all those ancient Greek ruins. If you were a person who was a wealthy person that your desire was to go gun people down, like there are people that will provide you with that service. Like there was a thing with the Soviets, or not the Soviets, with the Russians, where they're allowing people to kill pirates.
yeah.
Like you would pay a bunch of money and they'd take you to where the pirates are, and you go out in a ship and with a 50 cal just fucking blow up pirate boats.
Yeah, I'd heard about that. I'd heard about there were places that you could go as, you know, a combat tourist, basically.
Has to be.
Yeah,
There has
and
to be places
It's
like
all going to be like Russian or
Yeah.
Somalian or a connection between the two, right? So you'd have these like rogue elements and places where there isn't an organized government. There's essentially just chaos and anarchy.
Which is
And then-
Afghanistan.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
could definitely.
someone from the western side was providing that service to someone and letting them borrow a chopper.
Well,
Who the
that was
fu-
Petraeus. So they were saying like Petraeus was the commanding general at the time, which I would find it's kind of hard to believe.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, that a general that's in charge of combat operations in Afghanistan would loan just a rich guy a helicopter, and it sounds correct in the context of plus another one, because they could never fly anywhere alone. They always had to fly in
Right.
twos because they had to have a support.
But just loan me a chopper.
Loan me a chopper.
What?
It's a stretch, as much as I disagree with the way that they were running the war. It'd be hard for me to believe that a general would just loan some rich guy a couple of helicopters to fly around Afghanistan.
You think he's lying?
I don't know. Like,
I
he'd
don't
have to
know
like
either.
dive into it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
But either way, there's
Either way.
nothing normal about
No.
these emails.
no,
There's nothing normal.
nothing normal.
One thing to take into consideration is how much of these emails are actually factual. Like accusations that they're putting on other people. You got to take that with a grain of salt. This guy he was all about like influence peddling. Like, and probably he had enemies, and he would probably destroy his enemies with rumors and making up false stories. Like the Bill Gates one with asking me for antibiotics to slip into his wife because he got STD from a Russian hooker. I'm like, that seems too on the head. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't he go to his fucking personal doctor? Why is he
Right.
going to Jeffrey Epstein for antibiotics in New York when he lives in Seattle? Don't you think he has like a concierge medicine set up
You would
there
think.
with a guy? And,
Yeah.
and why would he say, hey, Melinda, I gave her STDs? You wouldn't. You'd say, hey, get me some stuff. Oh, I lost my prescription. Can you give me
Right,
another
right.
one?
Yeah.
I fell out of my car. Give me another one?
Can I give you another one?
And then fucking crushing up in a smoothie. Like, if you're going to do that, you would do it. He's not a dummy. He's Bill Gates, right?
Right,
You would
right.
do it in a more discreet way than contact a international sex trafficker who's a part of like some intelligence operation.
You would think.
You would think.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
but the skeptic in me tends to kind of like look at it under a magnifying glass a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to take everything at face value, but also at the accumulation of all of these different things leads you to just go, what the fuck was going on?
It is.
But that's blue pill. They took the
I
blue
see.
pill.
Is there such thing as a black pill?
Yes.
What
That's
is the
people
black
that think
pill mean?
we're doomed and we're fucked and everything's. They think it's all pedophiles and Satanists are running the
Wow.
government. And then the white pill
there's
is
white.
people who think everything's going to be great.
Oh. Can I get the white one?
Yeah, the white pill would be a good thing to take, but I don't think it's accurate. I think you want a gray pill. If they should have a gray pill that gets you like, hey, there probably are a bunch of Satanists and pedophiles in positions of high power.
Yeah.
And then there's also probably a real good chance that we'll pull through this and we'll be better than we've ever been before.
Yeah.
That's possible. There's a lot of exciting possibility about the future of human beings. And I think the good thing and the bad thing about the internet is the free distribution of information. There's a good thing about it that I try to focus on is that more people have an understanding of how things are really working than ever before.
Yeah.
Like this Epstein file thing, right? That was a big eye-opener for a lot of people. When you see how many people after 2008, after he was arrested, after he went to jail, were actively taking money from him. MIT took money from him and tried to hide it and said to make sure that any donations from Jeffrey are listed as anonymous. So you find out like people are like, they referred to him as Voldemort, like you couldn't say his name.
Wow.
There was a lot of people that met with him and did business with him and traveled with him after he was arrested, after he went to jail.
Do you spend a lot of time reading them?
No, I try not to. I try to have experts come on. I try to
And
read.
just-
You can't change it,
Yeah.
and it'll fuck with your head.
Yeah, it's
Like,
toxic.
You will really get.
It'll stick with
yeah.
and I know I've tried not to.
Yeah.
I haven't read any of them. I do see things on the news, and I'm not saying, if I don't hear it, that means it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it is such a toxic situation that I think it would be hard to.
It seems very dark.
Very
because
dark.
it seems like it was this bizarre blackmail influence thing that was going on for a long
For
time.
so
A long time.
through different administrations. That's
Yeah.
what's so
Yeah.
unbelievable about it.
It's
How
dark.
long it was going on.
I'm
and
in
how
the
many
files
people.
for not going. Huh? Yeah, I'm in the files for not going. 'Cause Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Aren't
I
you
was like,
glad?
Yeah, but I would have never went anyway. It's like, it's not even a possibility that I would ever went.
But did you-
Especially after I Googled him. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This was like 2017. One of my guests was trying to get me to meet him. I was like, bitch, are you high? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For what reason would you? What would be
If I was a guy who was like sucking up to the rich and powerful, if I was really interested in hanging out with rich and powerful people.
You know, it's crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, some people
Some people get intoxicated by being in a circle of rich and powerful people, even if they're not, like, they don't even have any ambitions of being one of those people. They
Yeah.
just want to be around them. They want to
Yeah.
be around Nobel Prize winners. And
Yeah.
because this guy what he was doing was very clever in that he was getting all of these very powerful and very respected people together.
Yeah.
And you would figure like, oh, it's
if that
safe.
guy's there, if that lady's
Clinton's
there.
here. This
yeah.
is fine.
Right.
Clinton's here. How
Yeah.
could this be bad?
Yeah.
Look, it's Steven Pinker. How could this be bad?
Yeah.
You know, he's a genius. Like, and so you would go. I would imagine you would go to these because like there's people that went to these. Like he had parties in New York. Like he brought in celebrities and comedians. Didn't Louis Black get invited to one of those? I think he's talked about it. I know Chelsea Handler went to one of them. It's like he would bring all these people in, and he'd like to be around famous people and entertainers and a lot of intellectuals and professors. And Noam Chomsky was famously deeply involved. So it's like you would go, I guess, to these places, and that was how he would convince everybody that everything is going to be fine. Like, have you ever been invited to a party and someone will tell you, hey, you should go to this party. Brad Pitt's going to be there. Like, they'll tell you that to try to get you to
Right.
go.
Right.
They'll tell you about the famous people that are going to
Right.
be there. Like, oh,
I don't know. I should go.
I didn't know. I
Right.
didn't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It is weird. Some people are really driven by that, really love the parties and the
Yeah.
invitations.
And blindly ambitious, right?
Yeah.
They're willing to like put aside, you know, all the possibilities of what could be awful about these people
Yeah.
and get together with them without even a cursory Google search
Yeah.
as to who
One,
you're hanging out
you can't
with.
have your assistant Google something.
How about you just do it? Just go, "Whoa."
It doesn't take long.
Like, hey, look what I just found out. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's what's more bizarre is that there's probably in this. I talked to Mike Benz about this. He was like explaining how this guy rose to prominence and how he got this kind of influence that he had, and he was like, "There's probably a bunch of those going on right now that we don't know about."
What people that are
Like that, like
Of
a same
course,
sort
yeah.
of Jeffrey Epstein type situation, just someone else and
Well, I mean,
doing it
it's-
somewhere else, and they just haven't been caught yet.
Yeah. It's
Like
just-
if he didn't get arrested, let's think about this.
yeah.
Because his particular perversion, the darkness of it, was that he was into underage girls. He was into young girls. Imagine if he wasn't. What if he was only into girls that are in their 30s? Like, you would have never heard anything about it. What if he just hired these adult ladies to come to these parties that were already sex workers? Would
Right.
you have heard anything about this?
I know.
And that's the thing. Like, is that happening right now?
right.
Did you hear about how this started in 2005? I think this is
No, but
accurate.
I'm glad you're
What?
saying that because I'm
This is crazy.
Two girls fighting.
So
High
it
school.
started
After a
between
fight.
a fight between two teenage girls at Royal Palm Beach High School in Florida. Here are the details of how the event triggered the investigation. Early 2005, two girls at Royal Palm Beach High School got into a fight during which one girl repeatedly called the other girl a prostitute or hooker. Following the fight, school administrations and parents investigated, searching one of the girls' purses and finding $300 in cash. The confession. The student initially claimed the money was from working at a fast food restaurant, but later revealed she had been paid for massages by a wealthy man, later identified as Jeffrey Epstein. This revelation led to a police investigation in March of 2005 when the stepmother of one of the girls reported the molestation to the Palm Beach police. Wow.
Wow, that's in
Yeah,
2005.
that was the first arrest.
And now listen to this. It says they identified the Royal Palm Beach High was identified as a focal point for recruitment, where, according to investigations, at least 15 students were lured into Epstein's Palm Beach home. Holy shit!
That's so crazy.
Now
That's in
imagine if those-
2005.
Imagine if those girls didn't get in that fight. Imagine if that didn't
Wow.
happen.
Yeah,
It's dark.
it's dark.
Yeah, but if that guy was not into that, if he was not into high school girls,
Right.
like if he was just into grown women who were sex workers and he ran the same operation exactly the same way, it could probably go on to this day.
Yeah.
And if everybody kept their fucking mouth shut, and if all these guys, you know,
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at
According
look
to
at
the
some
FBI
people that
today,
are in the.
There was nothing going on, so.
oh, FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men. File show.
So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Who says that?
Wow.
What's that source?
Yeah, it's going around I just found the place that was showing the headline. It was going around the internet today. I
Oh,
think the AP
today?
report- Yeah, the AP. It's the AP reporting it. Yeah.
Today. Oh, I thought that was. I thought that was from
this
2005.
This is like the FBI stating
I was
it
like,
today.
oh,
No, it's
that's
today.
That's the gaslightiest gaslighting shit I've ever heard in my life.
Whoa.
What do they think is going on? Just a bunch of fun, bunch of guys hanging out,
That is.
being fellas, having cocktails, talking
They
about
say they're
science.
still looking into it, but they don't have any evidence.
Oh, look into it. Maybe you should get Eddie Bravo on the case.
I'm looking into it. That is
Name of his show.
crazy.
Look into it. It's so crazy. But there's probably a lot of that that's gone on
yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
And it's also probably a way that they can secure business deals and make sure that people do things they want to do. They have a little something over them. They do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that.
For sure. This is what. Yeah. I mean, that's what Epstein was all about. Was manipulating people and holding it over their head, getting them to do something.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It certainly seems like that. Certainly seems like that was a big part of it.
I mean, is it possible that people didn't know what was going on?
Maybe initially.
Yeah.
If someone got lured in like they tried to lure me in and they didn't do a Google search and also
Yeah.
they're meeting with this eccentric billionaire supposedly who's just not politically correct. Well, there's a lot of references to pizza. I think there's thousands of references to pizza and jerky. The jerky
And grape
the pizza.
soda.
And grape soda, yeah.
So I
Well,
thought
the thing about grape soda is grape is like what people do to get around the algorithm when they're discussing rape. When he graped them.
but this was like 2011. I don't think people knew about that stuff.
Right.
And I don't think Epstein, as a boomer, knows how to get around algorithms.
Right. That's not an algorithm thing.
Right.
It's just a code thing.
So I thought maybe it's a black thing, but then
Grape soda? Oh, right.
yeah,
Okay.
but then he's racist. There's like things about don't bring black people.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
He says don't bring black
something to
people to
that
my parties?
effect. Yeah,
Whoa.
something to that effect. Please double check me on this, but it was something that he was not no black girls.
Oh, no black girls. Interesting. Huh.
So yeah, I don't think we're ever here. The other thing that I'm kind of stunned at is there's this belief online that if there's enough agitation, like QAnon, we're all going to have these mass arrests, and I don't see that happening, and I don't think you can do anything to force them to release the really bad stuff if they haven't.
So what else is left? There's 3 million other files that
Right?
they have.
They said they released everything.
Well, they also said there wasn't anything.
Right.
When Kash Patel was on here, it's like there's no videos, there's no evidence, there's no nothing.
The craziest for me was when Pam Bondi said, I've got the list. And I said to myself, and I talked to my friends, they all agreed with me. I'm like, I really don't think he had like clientslist.doc on his desktop. That's
Right.
not a thing, right? So
Right.
I believe he doesn't like have a literal list. And then later she goes, when I said list, I meant blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you said list.
Right. Well, they had those binders. They were all
Right.
performatively holding those binders.
Right.
We have the files. We're going to go through them. Heads are going to roll. Nothing happened.
Right.
And then Les Wexner, what did he say today? Jamie, you were saying that he said he got
man. He was conned or something by a
he's
con man.
gone for
He was
so many
naive.
years.
I've been seeing online, I don't know the accuracy, that there's a bunch of missing files from specifically 1999 through 2001.
Right. And that people are connecting that to 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, 19.
Pre
Okay.
and post 9/11 are all missing.
Wait, so Epstein might be involved with 9/11? But I mean, what's the thumbtacks and string? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just
well,
saying.
there's a lot of people that believe that Israel was involved in 9/11.
Right. But I don't think Epstein was high up in the Israeli decision-making process.
But I think they're just looking for financial records of things, and those are all missing. People's names.
You know,
interesting
if I
names pop up.
if I found out Muhammad Atta was a pedophile, I might actually start to dislike that guy. That would really change my opinion of him.
Epstein files surrounding 9/11.
Wow,
completely
coincidence.
withheld.
Wait,
DOJ
this just
called it a
came out.
coincidence.
Yes, I mean people are still digging into this stuff every day.
Holy
That's
crap.
Why people keep finding new shit all the time.
Oh
I
my
think.
God! Wait, scroll down. This is fascinating.
That fucking cryptic George W.
What
Bush
about the
photograph
No, the Clinton one's worse.
of the art? Yeah, the
Clinton
dress.
one's
We have
worse,
that
yeah.
outside.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
They stumbled across something where there was redacted photos. If you looked through the files and typed in something like "no photos rendered,"
Yes.
you could change the .pdf to .mp4 or .mov.
There's
and
thousands of
tons
videos.
of videos were popping up.
Wow.
And people are
Yeah.
starting to watch all those videos. Some of them are from the prison. Some of them are from the island.
Flight logs starting. Okay, so
Have they found anything in those videos?
That's
you got to go through them individually,
Yeah,
right?
no. People are now. I don't. Again, the accuracy. I don't know. I've seen a video where someone said this was from the video, and there's like a girl crying in it, but I don't know. if that
Adderall
was
and
accurate.
autism, do your job. Find those videos.
that should be the subtitle of this show: The Joe Rogan Experience. Adderall and autism. Do your job. Holy crap! That's hilarious.
Oh my God, what a world we're living in.
Maria Farmer, I think she was the chick who was working the front desk at his office in Manhattan. She was literally on video saying that all this shit about Bill Clinton on the jet, going to the island, hanging out with Trump and all this stuff. And the right-wing people, like people I know, my parents and like older folks I know in Florida, will say, you know, she came out, thank you for exposing Bill Clinton for being a pedo and doing all this stuff. And Virginia Giuffre, after this happened, she's like, you guys didn't listen to the whole fucking tape. She's like, I was telling you that Trump was at the penthouse 3 days a week and visiting him, but you guys don't want to hear that. And it's like, you know, it's just this weird thing. Like if you do the math, there's gotta be so many high level, powerful people that are somehow compromised. And do I think like Clinton and these guys are pedos? No, I don't think that at all. But if you were Jeffrey Epstein, I think it's super plausible to assume that he would try to trick them with like a girl who looks old, right? Who is possibly like on the borderline of being 18. And you say, oh yeah, this girl, she's 18, 19, 20, whatever. Meanwhile, she's like 17 and they had no idea and they have video footage. And in like a court of law, if I'm the judge, I'm going to let them, like, of course, they fucking lied to him. And this is not like some young girl, obviously, but they lied.
Yeah.
But like in like the court of public opinion, you're never going to win in that case, right? Like
Right,
if that comes
it's-
out, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I mean, you're fucked if you just go into the island to bang hookers. Like it's like
Yeah.
they're of age. It's still like whatever he was doing, you preyed on people's desire for experiences and vice.
Yes.
And all these powerful people who, again, they can't just go call a hooker and the hooker goes, oh my God, I just blew Bill Gates. This is nuts. You know what I mean? Like, you can't trust them. So you have to trust someone who really has a lockdown organization. And they felt like he did.
Yeah.
And that's why they all hung out with him even after he got arrested. This is what's crazy.
That
Like,
is crazy.
A lot of Bill Gates meetings with him were after he was prosecuted. And he got this little slap on the wrist and he got essentially home detainment, and I think he had to do like weekends at the jail. Like it was like
Yeah.
for underage sex for what's supposed to be a felony. The whole thing was crazy. And then when there's one reporter that really chased it down, I forget her name, but she really looked into it, and that's when they opened up the second case, the second trial. Vicky Ward. Was she from what paper? Vanity Fair. So she was responsible for because she was like, this is insane. Like, what's going on here? And then there was the sheriff that had arrested him, said that I was told he was intelligence. And I mean, you got to think, man, if a guy like that is running these kind of parties with all these rich and powerful people, how many different worldwide decisions can be manipulated because of these people and the compromises you have on them.
Right.
It's really a brilliant thing to do.
Yeah.
From an intelligence perspective.
Yeah, it really is, man. And like the way that the world is shaping out now, and this like rise of Jew hate online and I think a lot of it's bots. I think it's coming from every angle. I think it's probably a lot of propaganda and bots coming from Iran, coming from Israel, Saudi. Who knows where it's all coming from? It's just such a confusing crock of shit on the internet. But like, on one hand, they were able to pull off some incredible fucking operations. And, on the other hand, we get mad. Now that it gets exposed, we get mad that they have their hooks in us, and the people that are in power, whatever the politicians are, the puppets, just like bend the knee to whatever they're doing. And it gets exposed when people like Tucker did that interview with Ted Cruz. Mm-hmm. And he had him on his heels the whole time. That was incredible. That was a fucking a biblical fucking interview with Ted Cruz, and that really like pulled the mask off, because like if that guy is explaining his position on Israel, being in Congress, and that's his number one thing that made him want to be a congressman, it's like, what are all these other people doing then? Like if there's all this money, and you can see the receipts, how much money they're being given by these lobbies. But like how mad can you get because we let them do it? They're legally allowed to do it.
Yeah, you could be mad, but you really should be mad at the politicians.
Yeah.
The corrupt politicians, and how many of them there are. And like look at the mayoral race, where they all were saying, my first trip, I'm going to go to Israel.
Oh yeah, except for the dude, for what's his name? Won. He said he's going to stay in New York.
The communist. Oh. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to take care of the Jews in New York. Boom, checkmate. That was it. That literally won it for him. Because everybody else was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, New York is fucked. Take care of this goddamn city. Why? What's this loyalty and allegiance to Israel from the New York City mayors? Mm-hmm. The people that are candidates for mayor? Yeah. Like, your number one concern is Israel? That seems odd. Unless you're getting a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Unless they have some video footage.
Yeah.
The Epstein situation is identical to the Manson situation.
You think so? Explain what you mean.
This is why.
I mean, I think you don't mean that literally. I think you mean that in a more metaphorical way,
the
right?
structure. The structure of how you would pull, like if you were going to use an intelligence asset to do something evil, to do something where you can get dirt on people or compromise people or accomplish an objective, you would get someone who's already fucked up.
Oh, 100%.
And then you get that fucked up person and you help them, run this cult, or you help them get girls.
But you intentionally keep them separate.
Yeah.
You're not hiring them. They don't work for you.
Right.
They're a private entity.
It's
like layers of obfuscation.
Like if he wasn't personally a pervert, it wouldn't work.
Oh, not a chance. No.
Like think about, like the guy gets arrested for having sex with underage girls or getting them to do happy endings or wherever he did. So he gets arrested, and then the real weird thing is that he just gets out and gets like house arrest.
Yep.
And he gets like a little slap on the wrist, and then he's back in action with all these rich people again.
Yep.
Like really rich, influential people. Like Bill Gates is hanging out with them after he's already been arrested and convicted. Like that's bananas.
Yep. But to your point about them,
but he's got to already be fucked up. He can't be
100%.
like a straight edge, regular guy with a family and children that is just evil. No, you got to have him in on the thing. So if you got a guy you know is already a freak, you know he's already a nut, and he's already like doing
that's how you recruit him.
Blow and fucking hookers all the time, and maybe he's been caught with a few underage girls.
Well, when you study where he came from and how he got plucked from the Dalton School and then got put into Bear Stearns and then got put through Bear Stearns and then got put into money management, like
it was teaching at one point in time.
It was teaching at the Dalton School, and then he was a banker at Bear Stearns, which he conveniently left when this big scandal broke that implicated him and the director Goldstein that had hired him and had been helping him up. And then he left and kind of took the fall and took the dirt with him. And then he went into the arms running businesses, which is where he met Maxwell. Daddy Maxwell, not daughter Maxwell, and Anand Khashoggi and Lease and all these other arms traffickers. And that's where he got into those. So it's like you walk slowly into these worlds. And as they're doing that, I'm imagining they're taking tabs on of like, what kind of guy is this and what's he into? And he's working with arms traffickers. And some of those arms traffickers were famous for blackmail. Like Anand Khashoggi, he was famous for having his yacht filled up with cameras and given his arms deals everything they could ever want while he's selling weapons to them, and he's got his whole yacht wired up with cameras. Trump later bought that yacht, which is super interesting.
Whoa.
Do you know about that? So
No.
Trump, check this out. And I'm not claiming that Trump is in on everything. It's a very complex thing here, but Trump's history is pretty weird.
Blackmail's
So
not the only tool.
No,
That's a
no.
blunt instrument. There's a lot of just connections.
he also just hooked people up with wives. Like, do you know that he claimed that he introduced Melania to Trump?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I suspect, Melania conspiracy time, I suspect that Melania has been whispering in Trump's ear. I think she was trafficked before. Either bad trafficked or good, or just like knew Epstein and like knew that world a little bit. But I suspect that she's been whispering in his ear about what that really is and does and all that things. Because she's been kind of like acting from the back a lot. But when you really dig into what Melania's been doing, she's very, very active in anti-trafficking and in protecting trafficked victims and
That
girls and
makes
stuff.
sense.
And as Trump, when he married her, and then they have Barron, and he's watching his son grow up. So you have this young child, and you have this wife telling you about her previous life, probably, and just whispering in your ear that like, this could be your legacy, this could be your legacy, this could be your legacy, right? Because he used to be friends with those people, even though I don't think he was blackmailed, because I think that would have come out when the Democrats were going for him.
Right.
And maybe he was involved in the trafficking a little bit because of the things that he bought and the people that he knew and like Roy Cohn connections. He knows the game. And then he marries Melania. And then more and more, like he was in charge when Epstein went down. He was the only one that when Epstein got arrested and they were going around asking for dirt, he was like, I'll fully fucking cooperate. Fuck that guy. I'll tell you everything that I know. And so I suspect that Melania has been instrumental in his sort of shift to being the only guy willing to go after those traffickers.
Out of all the information that's getting disclosed, supposedly this administration, what do you have the least faith that we're going to come to
Epstein,
a
for
conclusion?
sure.
Epstein.
And I think it's because of Israel. I think
Really?
that because I mean, when you really dig into Epstein, his entire network was Israel. It was clearly like Ehud Barak was the ex-prime minister and the ex-head of Israeli intelligence. Leslie Wexner was one of the most powerful pro-Israeli philanthropists. The whole organization was Israel.
So
and
it
I'm
was
not saying it was all of Israel.
It was
I'm not-
all an intelligence gathering and
and it was targeting Americans. It was targeting American officials and the American president.
Right.
And the CIA does have interest in those targets too. Elements in the CIA does. Certainly they had help from the CIA, and certainly they had help from these other organized crime and intelligence operations. But you don't like, so for example, Dan Bongino, the new deputy director of the FBI, he recently had this clip that went all around where he said on camera that he had a source that he trusted deeply. And he's an informed guy. He was at a Fox News interview, and the source told him that Epstein was working for an intelligence agency in the Middle East. And I don't know which one, but someone in the Middle East. And to be fair, we all already knew this. We already know who he worked for. At least I think so. But I'm looking at, okay, Dan, so if this giant group of Jewish billionaires is running a sex trafficking operation targeting American politicians and business people and stuff, you think they're working with an Arab or Muslim nation in the Middle East? Like, you think that Leslie Wexner is devoting his entire life to philanthropies on behalf of Israel, but then he's going to work for Saudi Arabia when he's
Right.
doing this trafficking ring?
right. But if someone says to him that they're all working for a country in the Middle East, knowing he knows what that means, but not specifying, doesn't he kind of have to repeat it that same way?
Well, he also has to repeat it the same way because he won't get the job if he says Israel. Because
Exactly.
Israel has
Right.
so much control over our government right now. And I'm not saying that all Jews are in on something. Clearly, internet. Thank you.
Clearly, internet.
And Joe is definitely not saying that.
Definitely not.
But the Israel's government is every bit as vulnerable to the deep state effect as the American government. But I would argue that Israel's government is way more vulnerable to it because of the people that founded Israel and the way it was founded. It was founded in a modern time, much more recently, by like it was a revolutionary founding. And I can totally sympathize with the Jewish desire to have that state. Like I get it. But because of the way that happened, the people that founded Israel were a bunch of organized crime figures in America, the Jewish mob, that were helping with money and with arms trafficking to get the guns there because they had to have guns. And it was the Rothschild banking family sending a whole bunch of money and getting the declaration in the first place. And then the people that were there, the three different organizations, the Irgun, the Lehi group, and the Haganah, those were the three like paramilitary groups that fought to found Israel, and they're like the heroes of Israel, which I understand the narrative that they're heroes, but when Israel was officially founded, they officially designated Irgun and Lehi as terrorist organizations because they had been bombing civilians. They'd been bombing British civilians. The first official act of terror before they changed the definition was the bombing of the King David Hotel, where these terrorists, these Lehigh and Irgun terrorists, a bunch of different groups, the guy who planned that bombing later became the prime minister of Israel. They were bombing civilians. And like, so when those are the groups that are fighting to found that nation, even if all the Jews there are wonderful people, the leadership is inherently composed of these people that have been deeply corrupt for all time.
Maria Farmer, I think she was the chick who was working the front desk at his office in Manhattan. She was literally on video saying that all this shit about Bill Clinton on the jet, going to the island, hanging out with Trump and all this stuff. And the right-wing people, like people I know, my parents and like older folks I know in Florida, will say, you know, she came out, thank you for exposing Bill Clinton for being a pedo and doing all this stuff. And Virginia Giuffre, after this happened, she's like, you guys didn't listen to the whole fucking tape. She's like, I was telling you that Trump was at the penthouse 3 days a week and visiting him, but you guys don't want to hear that. And it's like, you know, it's just this weird thing. Like, if you do the math, it's got to be so many high-level, powerful people that are somehow compromised. And do I think like Clinton and these guys are pedos? No, I don't think that at all. But if you were Jeffrey Epstein, I think it's super plausible to assume that he would try to trick them with like a girl who looks old, right? Who is possibly like on the borderline of being 18. And you say, oh yeah, this girl, she's 18, 19, 20, whatever. Meanwhile, she's like 17 and they had no idea and they have video footage. And in like a court of law, if I'm the judge, I'm going to let them, like, of course, they fucking lied to him. And this is not like some young girl, obviously, but they lied. Yeah. But like in like the court of public opinion, you're never going to win in that case, right? Like if that comes out, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I mean, you're fucked if you just go into the island to bang hookers. Like it's like they're of age. Mm-hmm. It's still like whatever he was doing. You preyed on people's desire for experiences and vice.
Yes.
And all these powerful people who, again, they can't just go call a hooker and the hooker goes, oh my God, I just blew Bill Gates. This is nuts. You know what I mean? Like, you can't trust them. So you have to trust someone who really has a lockdown organization. And they felt like he did. Yeah. And that's why they all hung out with him even after he got arrested. This is what's crazy.
That is crazy.
A lot of Bill Gates meetings with him were after he was prosecuted. And he got this little slap on the wrist, and he got essentially home detainment. And I think he had to do like weekends at the jail. Like it was like great for underage sex for, you know, what's supposed to be a felony.
It's just I don't even understand. I don't get it. It is the easiest political victory. Like if you just
it is,
do
but
it,
it isn't. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting anything. Just be really clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But if you have relationships with all these insanely wealthy people that are going to be
hurt by this,
severely impacted by this, like this is the ultimate political football. Because I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know who the people are, but I've heard things. And if those things are true, you're dealing with some of the most powerful people in the world, some of the wealthiest people in the world.
They got to go down.
Yeah, well, it depends on what they did, right? It's like, did you go over there and have sex with a 24-year-old and do coke? Or did you go...
Totally fine.
Right. Or did you go over there? But here's...
Wouldn't you want that out? I would want that out. If like,
yeah, but
you
wouldn't want that out because, like, how do you... You're connected to pedophilia, no matter what.
Oh, right, because you're like,
Epstein's Island.
She was 24, and then someone's going to go, well, did you ID her? And you're like, well, no, I didn't ID her.
Well, did you see underage girls? Yeah. Were you there? Are you complicit?
So you don't want to even be around it.
Right. Well, you can't be around it. I mean, the guy 100% had sexual relationships with underage girls at least in Florida.
Convicted.
Yeah. And so and you knew that when you were meeting him. That's the Bill Gates thing that's the craziest.
Not only Bill Gates, the Stephanopoulos guy. Like a bunch of them went over there.
A lot of people went over there. A lot of scientists went over there. And I think those guys thought they were going over there for this beautiful place where you can go. This guy's donating money to science. You're hanging out with movie stars, this intellectual discourse. So tell me about string theory.
Yeah.
Well, it's really fascinating. One things we've learned, and you're having cocktails like, this place is great. Yeah. And then you can get your dick sucked.
It's like a Diddy party for nerds.
exactly.
Exactly.
And a lot of people went to those parties.
Yeah.
Why don't they release that fucking list, huh? I don't mean to divert this to the Epstein list. I just meant to ask you, isn't it weird?
It's a little odd.
What's going on? I keep thinking, what could be in that list? What's in there? What bit of information is in there?
Well, here's the thing. Like the list it's probably probably don't have like a list in terms of like you have to sign up when you go to the island. You know what I mean? Like, but they know the flight logs.
Right.
Like that's all public knowledge, right? Isn't it?
All I know,
But hasn't it always been public knowledge in terms of like when people want to
shit's out
investigate
there.
things? Like if you go on a plane, so if you fly on a private plane, which most of these guys do, you tell everyone knows who's on the plane. Like you have to give your ID. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like I have to give my ID all the
Yeah.
time if I fly, even if you're on a private jet. So they know who's on the planes. They know. Like
Right.
there should be a flight manifest, and
Right.
like, they probably save those. And like that, the fact that, and no one's saying that just because you went there, you didn't do it doesn't mean you necessarily did a heinous crime, because I think you can't just have it chaos over there. I bet it was a real good honeypot where there's a lot of sophisticated intellectual discourse. You got a lot of brilliant people
Yeah.
there. You've got great music, you know. You got like famous people are hanging around too.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems really cool. And then, if there's blackmail, the blackmail is like snuck into
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
Snuck in, come to the room with the cameras. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, you're doing cocaine. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But, you know, you never get to an island.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this very often. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so busy with my CEO job.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, man.
And then next thing you
Boom.
know, you're donating money to whatever the fuck they tell you to.
But it's like, how many senators just voted against releasing this shit, man? It's just it's like there's two votes that are happening. The UFO disclosure thing, they keep voting against that.
Yeah.
And the Epstein list, they keep voting against that.
Right.
What? And also politically, it can't serve you to talk about a bad list. The list of people who said let's protect people who like have done horrific shit to kids. You don't want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51 to 49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51 to 49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party
Both
lines,
sides.
with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh wait, not both sides. It was it's the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party lines. Let's ask Perplexity. Why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was gonna. There's Eric Swalwell, who's I guess.
I read it wrong. Read it wrong. No, okay. So the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans
Yes.
fought against it. Okay, I fucked that up. So 51 to 49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Well, so then they've been. Not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some, but they're in recess. Congress is. And so Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true, but
It's coming to an end, guys. I've
Yeah.
spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they confided that Trump's movement support is fading. As one told me, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a pedo protector. It's just a matter of time, Swalwell said in a thread. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts, he added.
so they said this further goes on to say that if they get back, that this is the first thing on the docket, and that's sort of what's holding them back in recess right here.
Wow. We are watching wild history in real time.
Dude.
This is a wild scene. Did you ever
Wait.
talk to Weinstein about him? Weinstein met him.
About Daryl?
No,
I loved-
Epstein. Weinstein.
Oh, thank God.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
you were
no.
about that. I
No,
think
no,
he's
no,
just
I love
such
Daryl
the
too.
best.
I love Daryl too.
Okay, cool.
About Epstein, he met him.
Dude, what the fuck? What did he say it was like?
He said he had a girl on his lap while they talked. The girl was like 21 years old. and I think he said she was Asian. I don't remember, but he said she was really beautiful, and she was sitting on his lap, and he was bouncing her up and down while they were talking. So they're talking about finance and her boobs are juggling. So he goes, she wasn't underage or anything. She was a woman, but she was sitting on his lap and he was bouncing her around and her boobs were bouncing in his face while they're trying to concentrate on whatever the fuck they're talking
Some
about.
David Lynch shit right there, man. That's some David Lynch shit.
Yeah.
Just jiggling boobs in front of you, like, wow, that is so fucked up.
And Eric said, like, right away, his vibe was that this guy was a construct. Because Eric is all like,
What do you mean
daggers.
construct? What do you mean construct?
Like a fucking agent.
Oh, right.
He's like, this guy does not come off as a financial expert
Right.
at all. But just the sheer amount of people with insane amounts of money that are attached to this.
Because my conservative friends be like, they think I give a fuck about a Democrat. They be like, oh, you with the Bill Clintons in there. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who in there. I don't care who in there.
You don't care.
Put that shit in the street. Yeah,
But they think you do. That's so silly.
I don't have a
Party identity.
I don't have a favorite politician. There's nobody. I don't give these motherfuckers money.
No,
there's no politician that I love enough to because this is what's killing me. There's people out there that are literally like, well, how old is 16 really? You know, like they're trying to justify because they want to come out of this by still showing support, but they don't want to be connected to the crime. So they're still trying to justify their support of all of this.
That's crazy.
It's like there's no politician I love more than I love my country, or more than I have my principles of like. Yeah, I think if you can't draw the line at kid fucking, then you probably should stop talking in public. Like you shouldn't have public discourse. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a pattern that has existed forever in politics. They want you to be compromised when you get into any sort of a position so they can control you. And I think these things like Epstein, and there's probably a bunch of other similar operations that are being run, they provide you with like a really good time, or maybe you're a high profile, extremely wealthy individual, and it's hard for you to get hosed. And some guy tells you, hey, we've got everything covered. You know, you come to my island, nothing, you know, what happens on the island stays on the island.
Bro, didn't they kick somebody out the royal family?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kicked him out of the family, and there hasn't even been like a formal trial yet. It's not like he's been convicted.
But what does that? What happens when you not? They just walk you out the castle and you
don't know,
on the street?
I think he's out in a house, like way out in the country. Like, you stay here.
I just in my head, I just picture him like crying over some KFC because he's never eaten peasant food.
I don't think he's eating peasant food.
So he's just not. He's not a regular person.
I think he's in a manor, like a beautiful home in the country.
Okay, so
I think he has to stay.
So being kicked out of the royal family doesn't mean that you lose everything.
Who knows? I mean, what does he have, and where did he get it? Is it just money from the government?
Well,
Because they do get paid by the government.
They
right?
do, but I also think they're still dukes of something and lords of something.
Here it says what he lost. So after being stripped of his royal titles and forced to leave his longtime residence at Royal Lodge, Prince Andrew, now formerly known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, will relocate to accommodation in the Sandringham, how do you say that? Sandringham estate in Norfolk. He is now excluded from royal duties and public life, and his status has been dramatically reduced. Loss of titles and status, eviction from Royal Lodge, relocation to Sandringham Estate. So he's relocated to an estate in the countryside. Public exclusion. He remains excluded from all royal engagements and official events, except for private family gatherings.
But that sounds sweet. I feel like
Yeah, I mean, he's getting away with not having to be, like not being in the public eye. That's it.
Well, they were basically like, all the parts about being a royal that suck. Yeah, you don't have to do those anymore.
Look at this. Financial support. The king will provide for Andrew's basic needs, but his former royal funding and security benefits have been ended. Andrew has sought private business opportunities to support himself, but no public roles are expected. Wow.
Who's gonna go into business with you, my guy?
He's gonna go. He wants to go into business.
He's
and
gonna open
been
up a Starbucks.
getting money from the king all this time. This whole thing is nuts because they get money, and I don't think they have to do anything. Like I don't think they have like real function in government, do they?
Bruh.
Where's the Sandringham Estates? Oh, that's where he got. Poor guy.
Holy
That's so sad. That's so sad. They made him stay in that castle. Look how beautiful that place is. That is so nuts. That this guy got kicked out of there.
Bro.
He got kicked out of wherever the fuck he was, the Royal Lodge.
Unless they tell me his punishment
gardener's
is like
estate.
they give you that estate, but they take all the servants.
Bro, look at the gardener's house. Show him the gardener. That's the gardener's house. That's where the gardener lives. That fucking place is beautiful. That is hilarious, dude.
Like if they give him that place, but they don't give him no servants, and he just gotta clean everything. He gotta walk a mile to the kitchen.
Yeah, he's got to do his own dishes.
No, but this
That would
guy's
actually
this
be
guy's
funny.
living the life. So he just gets banished to a mansion. He don't got to do no public duties.
Yeah.
And they probably just bring hoes out to the mansion.
You think he gets a puppy?
It's not like you stop banging hoes.
No,
Right?
I mean, I don't know what he's in trouble for.
Right. That's the thing. They haven't told us.
But to get kicked out the royal family is
It must
wow.
be.
They didn't even kick Meghan Markle out the family, and they racist.
Legal and public impact. What is this? These changes result from long-standing controversies over Andrew's association with Jeffrey Epstein and subsequent legal settlements. Oh, he's got settlements. Particularly the civil case brought by Virginia Guffrey, which concluded without any admission of liability by Andrew, but resulted in a multi-million-pound settlement. Do you know that there's amount of money that's been paid out to victims of Jeffrey Epstein is like $300 million so far?
From where?
I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah, but there's also a bunch of money that just moved after he died that no one really understands either.
This is all so sketchy.
Bro, I'm telling you, a lot of
That's
people,
so
if they really
sketchy.
release this shit in earnest, it's gonna change everything. I hope it's that powerful.
Do you think it will be?
Well, all I know is
Because-
the most powerful person on earth has been doing a lot to keep that shit from coming out. And I'm not like everybody else. I don't think Trump is in there in a criminal way. But I think he has a lot of powerful friends that have been putting pressure on him to keep that shit under wraps.
I think that definitely has to
I
be
think
the
it's going to be
case.
royal people. It's going to be prime ministers. It's going to be Supreme Court justices. It's going to be all type
Former
of motherfuckers.
presidents.
Yeah, some CEOs.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be all type of shit in there.
Scientists.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out. Yeah. The world already. There's nothing to lose for America as a whole.
What a crazy operation they were running. What a crazy thing. To have a bunch of people fly them out to an island that somehow or another you own. Like, where'd you get the money to buy a fucking island, bro?
It's not as expensive as you think.
A whole island?
Yeah, I don't
we
think
looked
so.
at that island.
How
We
much?
we
Oh.
were trying to buy it.
How
we
much
were,
is it?
Actually, I shouldn't say we're trying to buy it. We were thinking about it very briefly, but it was too expensive. It was like
What?
55.
It's not discounted now?
That's a discount.
That's the discounted price?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine it's worth more than that. Like
Yeah.
if you buy a beautiful house in like Miami, a beautiful house in Miami might be $200 million if it's on the ocean. Those like crazy manors in like West Palm Beach.
But it's like, but the island's basically haunted. You got to sage
It is
the
now.
whole motherfucking thing.
It's too late. You got to level it to the ground.
Yeah,
you got to
you gotta-
remove the dirt and go get dirt from like
Yeah,
some
this is
pristine
wild.
island. Yeah, you got to remove everything. It would be. That's the same reason why we never bought the One World Theater. The same thing.
Oh, that weird cult.
Yeah, the cult thing. I was like, oh man, there's not enough sage in the world.
Yeah. You had to come out with some holy water, anointing oil.
That's a beautiful property. But I was like, what did they do to those poor people there?